Hello everyone, welcome to Decode ITES. This is a single learning platform for multiple IT infrastructure technologies. Do like, share and subscribe our channel to never miss out our videos. Let's continue with the learning. Let's have a small introduction of myself. My name is Prince Garg. I'm having 3 plus years of work experience and worked on Red Hat, VMware, Windows, Google Cloud, PowerShell, Python and Bash scripting. Kindly follow us on Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, and reach out to us on itesfund.com. Welcome back everyone to the learning of virtualization. In this lesson, we will gonna learn what are the types of virtualization. So in today, the term virtualization is widely applied to a number of concepts, including storage virtualization, desktop virtualization, CPU, network, data, application. And the most important are data center virtualization, Linux virtualization, and cloud virtualization. So what are these? Let's take a look at it. First, we'll talk about desktop virtualization. This lets you run multiple desktop operating systems, each in its own virtual machine on the same computer. There are two types of desktop virtualization. The first one is VDI, Virtual Desktop Infrastructure, that runs multiple desktops in VMs on central server and stream them to users who log in to thin client devices. In this way, VDI lets an organization provide its users access to a variety of operating systems from any device without installing the exact OS on any device. Second one is local desktop virtualization, like that runs a hypervisor on a local computer, enabling the user to run one or more additional operating system on that computer and switch from one operating system to another as needed without changing anything about the primary OS. Then we comes with the network virtualization. It uses software to create a view of the network that an administrator can use to manage network from a single console. It abstracts hardware elements and functions like connections, switches, routers, etc. and abstract them into software running on a hypervisor. The network administrator can modify and control these elements without touching the underlying physical component, which dramatically simplifies network management. So there are two major types of network virtualization that include SDN, software defined networking, which virtualizes hardware that control network traffic routing, like called the control plane. Then we come with network function virtualization, NFV, which virtualizes one or more hardware appliances that provide a specific network function, like firewall, load balancer, or traffic analyzer, making those applications easier to configure, provisioning, and managing. Now we are having storage virtualization. It enables all the storage devices on the network, whether they are installed on individual servers or standalone storage units, that to be accessed and managed as a single storage device. Especially storage virtualization meshes all blocks of storage into single shared pool, from which they can be assigned to any VM on the network as needed. Let's say if you are having 4 storage of 1 TB each, then the storage virtualization combines all the 4 TB storage and create one container. From that, you can divide the required storage to each virtual machine. And also the storage virtualization makes it easier to provision storage for VMs and making maximum use of all available storage on the network. Data virtualization. In the modern enterprises, store data from multiple applications using multiple file formats in multiple locations that range from the cloud to on-premise hardware and software systems. Data virtualization lets any application access of that data, irrespective of the source format or location. Data virtualization tools create a software layer between the applications accessing the data and the systems storing it. The layer translates an application's data request or query as needed and returns results that can span multiple systems. This can help breaking down data silos when other types of integration aren't feasible, desirable, or affordable. Now we come with the concept of application virtualization. It runs application software without installing it directly on the user's operating system. This is a bit different from complete desktop virtualization as we have discussed above because only the application runs in a virtual environment. The operating system on the end user device runs as usual. There are three types of virtualization, like the local application virtualization, and this entire application runs on the endpoint device but runs in the runtime environment instead of the native hardware. Second one is application streaming. The application lives on a server which sends a small component of the software to run on the end user device when needed. The third one is server-based application virtualization. The application runs entirely on the server that sends only its user interface to the client device. Let's say you are having an application, your organization built it, and you want your customers or users to work on that application as well from their end if they have taken licenses. So there is a product called Citrix Virtualization. You can use that product and install the complete setup of that application on your end, and you need not to provide the on-premise solution. Then by using the URL, that is a SaaS based service, the customer can access it and also manage the same. They can insert data, delete data and all. They can also launch the SQL server as well, which is completely virtually web based interface. But they will get a pop-up of SQL server. Data center virtualization. It abstracts most of the data center hardware into software, effectively enabling an administrator to divide a single physical data center into multiple virtual data centers for different clients. Each client can access its own infrastructure as a service, which is called as IaaS, which would run on the same underlying physical hardware. The virtual data center offers an easy on-ramp into cloud-based computing, letting a company quickly set up a complete data center environment without purchasing infrastructure hardware. Now CPU virtualization. The CPU virtualization is the fundamental technology that makes hypervisors, virtual machines and operating systems possible. It allows a single CPU to be divided into multiple virtual CPU for use by multiple VM. At first, CPU virtualization was entirely software defined, but many of today's processors include extended instructions that support CPU virtualization, which improves VM performance. We come with Linux virtualization. It includes its own hypervisor called the kernel-based virtual machine, in short KVM, which supports Intel and ADM's virtualization processor extension so that you can create x86-based VM from within a Linux host OS. As an open source operating system, Linux is highly customizable. You can create VM running versions of Linux tailored for a specific workload or security hardened version for more sensitive applications. At the last, we will discuss about the cloud virtualization. As noted last, the cloud computing model depends on virtualization. By virtualizing servers, storage, and other physical data center resources, cloud computing providers can offer a range of services to customers, including the following: IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Infrastructure as a service is just a virtualized server, storage, and network resource you can configure based on their requirement. Platform as a service is a virtualized development tool, database, and other cloud-based services you can use to build your own cloud-based application and solutions. Software as a service is a very interesting thing nowadays. Software applications you use on the cloud. SaaS is the cloud-based service most abstracted from the hardware. Now we have covered up the types of virtualization. In the next lesson, we will gonna learn how the hypervisor works and the types of hypervisors. Also, which is the best hypervisor in the market. Also, it depends upon your requirements and your understanding. But yes, still we will discuss that. That's all for this lesson. If you have any queries, you can comment in the box or reach out to us on itsfund.com. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Do like, share and comment our videos. Also subscribe to our channel.